Labrīt visiem! Sveiciens! Šodien mums būs ļoti īpašs laivs ar Ruy Hinostroza no Peru, un laivs būs angļu valodā. Es ceru, ka lielākā daļa no jums saprot un varēs pievienoties. Skatos, ka Ruy arī pievienojās. Hi Ruy, I try to invite you. And your invitation as well, accepts, and hopefully here you come. Oh, it's not coming once again. It worked this time. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I did already brief introduction, but I try to do it once again.
Yes.
Hi, so today we have a live with, and this will be funny part because I'm not sure I will pronounce it right, Ruy Hinostroza. Yes, okay.
Pronounce the H at the beginning, so it's Hinostroza.
Hinostroza.
Yeah.
Ruy Hinostroza. Someone already says you hello. Hola. Yeah, so today Ruy is from Peru, and you're a sound healer and musician. So there are so many things I want to talk with you today, but we try to squeeze it in 1 hour. And so firstly, maybe we could talk more about what you're doing. What is the sound healing? Also, you're a musician. Yeah, everyone can find you on Spotify. About your music and what you're doing here. The most important question, what you're doing here. And then at the end, I also would like to talk with you about Peruvian traditional medicine, plant medicine, which everyone knows, but it's kind of, some are spoken more loudly, some it's more shushed. But since you're from Peru, you're kind of source of it. So I would love to talk with you about it too. So yeah, maybe at the beginning you just could tell more about yourself, what you're doing here, what your work is about, and yeah, just brief introduction.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Signe. So glad to be here. And okay, about me, well, I'm a sound healer. I have been doing this for about 12 years. So yeah, I started just because I wanted to relax people. And so I started with my parents first to realize that, yeah, they could relax with music. So then I understood that this could go deeper into helping people with music. I already was a musician back there, like 12 years ago, but I follow more this path of sound healing and therapies. So, well, yeah, I studied with a Peruvian musician that is a shaman, also Tito Rosa. He taught me at first the basics, how to connect with instruments from this meditative point of view, because from academy and all these color ways, it's difficult for me. So it was more from this mystery, from this experience with the instruments. And so, yeah, I learned like that. Then after him, I just started to practicing myself. And also I met Tibetan Buddhism. So in this, yeah, I loved Buddhism. I practiced so much and I loved meditation. So I started to go all the time into these meditation retreats, and that was feeding my music, actually. All this peace, all this beauty, and yeah, lovely peace state. I was using for the flutes, for music, for all the sound healing. So yeah, I invented like a method. So I started to teach people. I started to teach sound healing. First, I started to teach meditation and flute, how to play Native American flute. And then these workshops started to go into deeper and deeper and became a sound healing teacher training. So I was, yeah, teaching people for 2 months how instruments can heal you, can help you, first yourself with different instruments, and then for others. So they were coming to a retreat, and in this retreat we were doing a lot of practices together, and then they will have a diploma. So yeah, that's a very short summary of, yeah, I learned, then I practice and I teach. And yeah, I had a many teachers from meditation, or teachers from music, or teachers, or retreats, you know, silence retreats also. So yeah, and then 2 years ago, I mean, the last 2 years I was in Peru. I moved out from Lima, which is the capital I used to live in, and I moved to Cusco, the Sacred Valley, you know, this very powerful place. Yeah, to learn more, and then I was organizing retreats there with local people, with shamans. We were working with plant medicines also, with ayahuasca, with San Pedro, with magic mushrooms. So people were coming, yeah, to heal very deep with these people with a lot of experience. So yeah, I made like 15 retreats or something. Yeah, in 2 years. And then after, yeah, I decided to leave my country and to start to travel and to share, yeah, a little bit of me, of my music in Europe. So I was invited to a festival in Sweden and in Latvia. So I packed my stuff, sold everything, and said, okay, it's just one-way ticket. I'm not coming back.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how's been your experience in Europe? Because first time when I got on hold on you, you were in France, right? And then you've been in Sweden, now you're here.
Oh, I have been traveling for already, yeah, more than half a year, like 7 months. I started in Panama, 2 months. Then I was in Germany a week, then 3 weeks in Sweden, then Latvia a month and a half. Then, yeah, this last trip, last month was about Germany, France, Spain, Portugal, and yeah, I was there playing some places, collaborating, visiting friends, making new contacts for next year. So yeah, now I'm back in Latvia actually, because there are many things happening here, and beautiful country, beautiful people. Yes.
Yeah. And you traveled so much, like also you worked in many countries. Do you see any particular or how we perceive things, how open we are?
Sorry, the video cut when you said the particular something, particular what?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you've been in many countries, not only travel but also work. Do you see some particular differences in what we expect, or how open we are to your healing, or yeah, any different inquiries, or in general you see that we all are the same?
No, there's a very great difference between cultures in Europe, of course. Um, I don't know, Latvia for me is very beautiful, and people somehow are very connected to some sort of, I don't know, how to call it. I think you're somehow connected to your old traditions and plants and medicines and ancestors much more than other countries in Europe or South Europe, for example. In France, people are so intellectual, and they have not much spiritual background because, I don't know, they don't even believe in God, or I don't know what happens, for example, there. And there are other countries which is more, I don't know, just Catholic, and spirituality goes in very different uh, places here in this country, I think you have this sauna culture, and that's very powerful shamanic practice, and you still have that, and you conserve your old traditions. And I think Catholic Church and all of this didn't arrive so hard, so violent. So I think that's a very beautiful. Yeah, you can feel people a little bit more free in their minds. And yeah, I have heard that many people know about plants. I mean, just go out to the forest and, oh yeah, this is I don't know what, and this is for I don't know what, and this is the mushroom for breakfast. And so I don't know, like you have this connection with nature. I have heard many people very spontaneous talking about, oh yeah, this, and that's very beautiful. You are connected with nature, and I think that's very special. And yeah, it's a very different country than the rest of Europe.
I've seen lately also, since you arrived, you've been very active. You participated in retreats and also different like shorter events. Can you tell more about yeah, the work you're doing here and what you can offer, or what kind of inquiries people can address you? Yeah, what's on the table?
Of course. Okay, so last weekend I arrived back again here because I was creating a retreat with my friend Santa. She sings very deep, shamanic, intuitive voice and sound healing. So we have also collaborated before. So now, yes, we decided to open this retreat. So yeah, we had this very beautiful group. 3 days in this weekend, we were working with meditation a lot, working with sound healing, with the voice, and with different instruments that, yeah, we were working with and doing different practices. So yeah, we gave the opportunity to people to learn how to engage themselves with the sounds, and not only in a passive way but active way. So it's like to empower yourself that you can heal or help people when you're with this service energy. So yeah, you can of course impact on someone else's energy and do a powerful, yeah, one-on-one session, and of course guiding through all the steps. And yeah, without experience actually, because people think they need to be a musician or I need some sort of background or whatever, but the reality is that it's not that important, that part, at first. I mean, when you want to first connect with a person, yeah, you can use very simple instruments, for example, and try and play. And so this is one of the things we were teaching. So people were very surprised of how they actually can do these kind of things. And yeah, like to wake up your healing abilities. I think we all have this healing energy in our hands in different ways. So yeah, we were exploring all of this weekend, and people were very happy. And yeah, that was now. And then these next weeks I will have very a lot of events also, different kind of. So yeah, this is just the beginning.
And about so myself, I have very little experience with sound healing, but I'm interested in it. I follow also, and I recently also watched one Gaia episode about it was also I was just called, I think, healing sounds. And there are more and more even like research going on about like how sound healing actually how impactful a practice it is, and how it really can heal not only our like mental or energy planes but also physical plane. but I haven't really, I have been on one gong session, one gong and ball session, but that's about it. You have worked a lot. Can you tell in what cases or what situations you think the sound healing can help the most, or what are the inquiries, or what's the motivation why they're going to your sessions?
Yes, of course. Well, there are different approaches for sound healing, actually. I know there is a very scientific approach of frequencies and hertz and specific numbers. I haven't gone deep into that part, the scientific part, but for the other view, yes, I can tell you about, for example, the sound healing, it balances, it harmonizes your energy. For example, I mean, we could say a little the most superficial benefit, that if you have a tough day, a difficult day, and you come back, I don't know, and you go to a sound healing, you will definitely get relaxed. And the state of relaxation will get you away from anxiety and all these very modern problems of these new times, you know, that everyone is anxious and everyone is with some sort of mental unbalance, no? Our minds are not all the time chilled. So that at first, the sound healing can calm you down. So when you're calmed, yeah, that's a very different story for life. Starting with that. So beyond being calmed, sound healing can affect deeper things like normally when you are in a sound healing session and you are with eyes closed, for example, laying down, you will see things. Maybe you will see, well, you can even picture some problems in your life or some past childhood experiences. Sometimes very like random things, which are not random, are more like your subconscious trying to communicate with you. Is trying to say, hey, you might want to check this. Maybe you have something to heal there, you know. So things from the inside start to show up as pending things, you know, like, okay, maybe yes, I need to have a conversation with this person, and you will start solving or seeing things from a very different point of view, because now you're relaxed, now you're very in another mind state. So you will maybe start to solve and to actively do things that are on your pending list. That will for sure, after after it finished the session, that's some message for you. So you will receive messages and you will know, okay, if I saw this, I don't know, I saw someone, a friend, or I don't know, an ex couple or someone, that's something to, you know, to be aware of. For example, sometimes, yeah, like through messages, through images, you will know where to go next or what to do next, maybe. And also, yeah, you will sometimes people, very sensitive people, will get in touch with their emotions, and maybe they will feel much more and release some stuck energies. For example, many people cried, many people has, you know, made sounds like like releasing energy. So yeah, the energy is very strong. I mean, when I am doing music or different instruments, they move the energy, they move emotions. So if I, like as a guide, I am going with a flute through I don't know, sad emotion from my own sadness, that can be a reflection for others to, okay, feel their own sadness, and inviting them to transit and to feel it and to release it. So it's like an invitation of different colors of emotions that I offer, so people can resonate with, and if they match, the emotion will come out. So it's like different spectrum of emotions. So that's why I use different instruments to try to touch a little bit all those colors. So yeah, that's basically how it works. There's much more depth and detail, of course, always. But yeah.
So the way you do is more like it's traditional Peruvian way, or it's something, yeah, you've been kind of created yourself?
Yeah, it's like a mix, because traditional Peruvian sound healing as such, like that, it has more to do, it's more related with some sort of shamanism, actually. And I am not a shaman, but I've learned some things. So it has to do with energy, with resonating and feeling the energy of the space. You know, when you're space holding, you're connected with the global energy of the space, so you will flow, and be very sensitive towards the need of the space, and individual persons. So that I do like that. So it's a little bit, in a way, like some kind of shamanism, but also with very modern things, elements. For example, I don't know, I love to work with a microphone, with some pedals for effects and loops, for example. Sometimes I use loops, technology, these different things. That is a very different thing. I've used instruments that are very different, very, yeah, worldwide in different cultures. So yeah, you cannot say my thing is a Peruvian exclusive things. Of course, I use some instruments, some elements and things, but the rest also comes from all my trips and traveling all around the world, and also a lot of Buddhism, of meditation. Um, yeah, in the ceremonies, in the sound healing, I used to sing a lot of mantras. So I do a lot of Tibetan, like Om Mani Padme Hum and many other mantras. And yeah, so you know, since I feel myself a very globalized person with a lot of experience traveling all around the world, and I resonate with a lot of things and a lot of healing practices and different cultures. So I bring them and I use them for my own, yeah, ceremonies. So it's a little bit of worldwide, very colorful.
Yeah, I received also one question from viewers, like, do you know more specifically about frequencies? Like there was frequency, she wrote like 220 hertz, I think, for like it's apparently helpful for plants, and of course there are other like the Schumann resonance, heart frequencies, and for frequencies to reach higher planes. Do you dive into that, or you just more follow your intuition?
Yes, for now, no, I haven't dived into that. I follow my intuition much more. I was in a moment studying with frequencies, but I somehow have this belief, this thought that I'm not sure if all frequencies are like a single frequency is good for all of us. Like, I think that we humans are different, also very complex in our constitution, in our many, you know, things. And I'm not sure if the same frequency for all of us are going to heal the same.
Same
Yeah, I think it's very. So that's why I feel and have empathy to hear what this person needs and give her or him this frequency, which is, and I think it will impact different in another person and that in him or herself. But nevertheless, I was reading some things about a study, a medical research, a paper actually, about how frequencies can heal cancer cells, and they were trying with different specific frequencies, and it was very interesting. It's a paper that it's online in Google about healing patients with cancer with sound, and they were diving very deep into this frequency, how often he was like supposed to be exposed to this. So it was like 3 hours per day for a week. It was very intense, but there were very good results. So I was very amazed, and this is one thing I would love to explore more. But for that, I would love to have a laboratory, or try to be very into this scientific approach and to measure things, because if you don't measure, everything can be very subjective, and I don't just to say, yeah, this is like this without fact. So yes, I would like to research more. Yeah.
It's also good, I think, for whole field that actually more and more research is about this, not only sound healing, all other alternative ways and medicines are going on, and they are more like you said, you don't follow that, you go more with your intuition. But what's interesting, like those people who have open consciousness and they intuits, they mostly kind of do the same thing, which like later science proves, have to be that way, like, and it's like, wow, it's a big discovery, but people were doing it like over thousands of years or so.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's very,
So,
yes.
um, yeah, what's your personal journey? So you work with the people, and you also are a healer. What drives you? What you are aiming, or why you're doing this, and what's your challenges? Because it's sometimes we think that people who are doing these things, they're kind of perfect, but none of us are kind of perfect. We all have our challenges, our drive, our motivation. What drives and motivates you, and what are the challenges for you?
Okay, yes, good question. Well, the challenge is for so many years, I have been helping others. I have been very at service. When I was in Peru, everyone was writing me or looking for me to have this or that. So I was very, very, happy to help and to support. And I didn't realize that I also needed some of this. I mean, normally a healer needs healing, is one of the main reasons why I heal others is because I was hurt and I healed myself, and I am in the process of healing myself still, because it never ends. So it's a never ending story, about healing myself and being for myself and having the time for myself. So that's something I'm practicing now, because I was not available for myself. I was always for others.
Busy serving.
Virgo, Virgos. So now in this time, I am much more aware of that I need to be alone sometimes. I need to learn to say no to certain things and to play for myself, to practice and practice. So now I'm in this introspective moment of practicing more, of healing myself, and of course being open to others, to collaboration. But this right balance, to not losing myself when there's things needed in the outside,
You know, sometimes you have, I don't know, a travel or a tour or a relationship, and you're giving it all away, you know. Don't save some time for yourself. So that's something I'm learning. So that's, yeah, that's a new chapter of my life.
Yeah, there is the banal saying like that, basically, that you can serve only from a full cup. And to practitioners, it's I think it's often very challenging because people are always in a need. But then, you know, there's one thing to want to help them, but you also need to have the resource to help them. And then it's like,
Yes, if you're full, like you say, you're connected, then you can serve better and you can be your channel. So yeah, I have been in these times connecting more with the source, actually, you know, like if we are with the source, there is limitless energy for everyone. So believing this more and more is taking me to, yeah, now I think I can give from a different place, and yeah, don't fall into this. You know, sometimes you do a therapy or help people, and then you end up like very tired of drained, like what happened, absorbing energies. But I think that happens only when you're from an ego point of view, from the ego giving. But when you're not, and when you know you're a channel and you're giving from the source, you're just a channel, so there are no of energy. There is nothing wrong that can touch you because it's not yourself, actually. It's something greater, and you don't believe there's a mask, an ego, so it doesn't touch you. So it's difficult to get there and to be there all the time in a 1 hour and a half ceremony, for example. But yeah, I'm learning to get there.
I mean, it's, as you said, it's not, it's like it's never ending, this learning and healing process. And the more you do on yourself, the further you can take others. It's also, I think, partially too.
And about you ask other question about plans, about you said something like expectation or future or project. No,
In beginning?
no.
Oh.
In last question, you said also.
There was question from one viewer, like that you have heard that there are frequencies which are beneficial for, let's say, plants to grow, let's say, or to like I have my plants here. Like I was away in Thailand for half a year, and the poor guys were suffering. It's partially also my sister's cat's fault, but I came back and now I'm talking with them and they're happy. And I mean, there's also music frequencies which are good for plants and for humans and for animals. And
That's good. Yes,
and since we're talking about plants, of course, Peru is a very, very hot destination on my mindfulness map in the world. And a lot to do with that is because of your traditional plant medicines you already mentioned a bit in the beginning. Since you're coming from there, from that culture, can you tell about it? Like ayahuasca, it's been praised and coursed. You can, depends with whom you're talking, and yeah, just give more, maybe like tell more about the plants, how, where it comes from in your culture. And I think it's also another thing you're doing for fun or tripping. It's the thing you do for deeper work, and sometimes it's been used also for wrong purposes, and then the outcomes maybe not so pleasant. But yeah, I'm sure you have an experience with that since you also work with shamans in Cusco. And just, I also don't have experience with ayahuasca and any plant medicine, not even shrooms, not yet. So anything what you think it's what you would like to share about this, since you come from that environment.
yes, of course. Well, my country is a very, very rich culture, you know, full of cultures and traditions, and they are alive. Most of them, they are living cultures, alive traditions. So we have many, many wise people For example, the Amazon people, you have a lot of tribes, a lot of dialects also, different languages, and different elders and different shamans. For example, that's in the Amazon, no, the rainforest. We also have shamans from different from the mountains, for example, and they work with different plants. You know, in the Amazon, they work with ayahuasca, of course, and many other plants. And in the mountains, they work with San Pedro, which is a cactus, which is very powerful. And of course, there are many other plant medicines, but I think these two are the principal ones, the most used and powerful also. They are like the grandfathers, the grandparents. They call the San Pedro, they call the abuelo, which is grandfather,
Grandpa.
grandpa, and ayahuasca abuela, which is grandma. And yes, they are different, a little bit different, but in the end, they connect you with the source, they connect you with yourself, with the love, with God, with nature. So yes, in all my life, I met different shamans, different space holders, guides from this kind of ceremony. Mainly ayahuasca, because ayahuasca is much more regular ceremony. San Pedro can have different ways, but for ayahuasca, yes, I have worked. I have first, yeah, assisted just for healing myself, and ayahuasca helped me a lot at first, like 8 years ago or something, to unblock my voice because I had some very stuck here, my throat chakra. I couldn't sing,
Oh.
or I was embarrassed, or I was like, no. I was hiding with my flutes, you know, behind the flutes. I didn't want to show my voice. But then with ayahuasca, she helped me so much to open up myself and to sing and to feel comfortable. And at some point, I fell in love with my voice, with myself, in a very deep moment, which I realized my voice is very beautiful. So that, for example, changed me a lot, helped me so much in my path, because of course what I do is sound healing, and how can I sing, you know? So I started to sing a little bit more, to open up my voice, to learn some medicine music songs for singing. So yeah, for example, ayahuasca helped me not only with that, but also with, you know, connecting with the source, with seeing different visions of, you know, deities and God, and how I am part of this, and different things. And every now and then, when I feel blocked, when I feel like stuck, something like I need to do something and I don't know what, I ask for guidance. So it's like going to this grandmother and say, please help me again. I need your guidance. And okay, so I go in a ceremony, and it's very powerful. Ayahuasca is showing you the truth. So there is no escaping from that. So if you need to see the truth about some unpleasant moment, you will probably see it, and yeah, you will go deep and see that. And of course, you're not alone. You're with the guidance of the shaman, who is mostly singing, holding the energy in a safe space, safe energy, which you can go in, dive in. So yeah, you will go and meet yourself, and the shaman will, you know, go with you. And this moment probably is a moment you need to do, or you needed to do many years ago, that is there still. So you will, I don't know, go to the root, and either like take it out, maybe crying, maybe vomit, maybe different physical releasing. There are different reactions to people that, yes, you will leave that out. So then you will feel so good after releasing, because you're releasing very, old energy, which is affecting your body physically. So it affects all the dimensions, all the levels. So yeah, that's part of the ceremony. You will need to face yourself, and yeah, the ayahuasca is gonna help you also, because it's a sacred old spirit that knows how to get there. And yeah, when you trust nature or you trust this medicine and open up, that's after you will feel like a new person. So after a ceremony, normally you're seeing everything like, wow, this is so beautiful, plants, and yeah, you will see life with other eyes. Like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like when you have the medicine in your body, it's as if your blood became green and you are now one with nature. So you will start to see all nature around and respect and love more. And that's a very beautiful feeling. So yes, I have met a lot of different people working with this medicine, and I always had a good experience. I always go to good, experienced, and recommended shamans, not just anyone. So yes, I know who to consult, who to drink ayahuasca with. And yes, it's a very healing way of life. Many people use it every now and then. Many people also use it as as going to the doctor. Sometimes you have a disease, having something, so the doctor will say, yeah, you need this and this. So there are people that go to the Amazon, for example, and do a treatment for 2 weeks or 2 months, depending on what they have. So it can be very much more powerful in detail of very difficult realities or difficult disease, actually. People that have tried many things for heal some things and haven't found that in scientific, medicine. They go to natural, traditional medicine, and they find many answers. So they will need to go for a while. And that's another way of going to have these ceremonies. But I haven't yet have that experience with many weeks, so I cannot tell you about that.
But
Yeah.
so maybe you could tell what's the process of it, like how that happens and what the person is going through.
Okay, so first the shaman gathers the people in a circular place or the working space. So yeah, people there put their intentions. We start to talk about each one's intentions. And then the shaman explains, about the ayahuasca. He talks about it, and then he opens up the space, this energetic, sacred space. He do some things there for making the secure, energetic space, with the doors, windows, or whatever directions. And then after this part, he serves the ayahuasca, put some prayer into that, sing before, and yeah, each one of us go and drink. Then in our own seats there, we wait meditating until it shows up. And yeah, at some point he starts to sing. Whenever the medicine is coming up, he's starting to sing. And yeah, from that moment, many hours of that, he will be singing, he will be not only singing, maybe walking through the room with some instrument, maybe find someone who needs more and go more with this person. And it's not always a structure, a very defined, because he's flowing also with the energy, so he needs to see when it's needed, the singing, when he stops, for example, and he says something, he gives some advice, or he goes in a meditation, so align the energy. And yeah, and at some point, whenever most of the work is done, when people already threw up, vomit, and have different releasing experience, when you feel the energy that it's already like, okay, good, balance, so he will close it at, I don't know, 3, 4 a.m. Yeah, imagine that we will drink medicine at 9, 10 p.m. in the night. So yeah, all night long until 3, 4 a.m. The ceremony, will have place, and then closing, and he will, send people to sleep. If there are rooms, they go to the rooms. If they will sleep there, they can sleep there. So yes, and then next morning there's integration. In the morning, we'll gather to talk about everything and sharing our experience, and then closing the space. And then light breakfast, some fruits, and start to come back. And that's normally how it's done. And sometimes people do 2 times, so one first and then next night the other. So instead of leaving, you will stay and have the next one. So that's basically how it is.
And you mentioned also that you're going to selected like shamans, and it's important who is holding that space. Can you elaborate more on that? Why it's so important?
Yes, because the ayahuasca is a very, very serious and very deep plant, and when you have this ceremony, you realize that there are many dimensions. You realize that you're traveling and going through many, many dimensions, and sometimes people cannot travel through dimensions so easily. Sometimes you will just get overwhelmed or frightened of some things you will see, and it's like shamans, for example, they have worked with this for many, many, many years, so they have this experience on what is safe and what's not safe for people. Like, yes, he will he's like the key holder, so he has the key to open up different energies and to close some doors. And so I think that's important, because there are people that are not ready to see so much, for example. So someone needs to be the guide of, okay, this is for you, good for now, for example. Maybe you can go further into next. So he will decide, I think, and that's healthy, because now people just want it all now, fast, and that's a problem, because you can't have everything now, fast. So there has to be this garden of opening up a little bit what you need, and if you do the homework, if you're responsible with your process and you look inside, you will go and release things. So I think it's good that the shamans have the knowledge to guide you, because if just a regular people would do it and have no idea of this, there are many things we don't see, we don't know about dimensions, about beings, about invisible world. So we could come and grab some stuff that we don't want, and then be playing with spirits, certain things. So that's very, very complicated and difficult and very delicate thing. So you don't want to mess around with that. So if you go with anyone that, oh yeah, I just was in the jungle, I want to do this and that, like from a superficial point of view, you will get hurt at some point. So it's not recommendable to do it with anyone. So yeah, I think it's important people that have been in the jungle with shamans learning, or at least that have had their own healing with this plant for many years in themselves and then for others. So yes, I think that's important to respect also communities and traditions of countries that we don't know. And sometimes people have never come to Amazon and they are sharing this, and it's like, why? Do you know them? Do you have the permission, or why? And I think it's good that if you feel the calling, at least go and to meet them and then work with them, honor them, be grateful, and making a bridge, because it's intercultural, you know. So then with all this respect and all this blessing, yeah, you can share, but not just choosing for yourself, you know. And that's something happening now in all the world, in Europe. So yeah, if you wanted some recommendation, of course, you can write me and I can give you some names or contacts of people that are recommended. So you have a safe moment, a safe ceremony, for
Yeah,
example.
I think it's very important because I hear different stories about different experiences about ayahuasca, but I think that the space holder is almost the key to have a good experience.
Yes, yes. And also feel, I think before having a ceremony, it's good to that your intuition guides you, and it's like when you meet this, when you know that the person or you meet the shaman, your intuition says like, yes, good, I trust. Sometimes intuition can say, I don't know, I'm sure, and there, yeah, I think you will maybe need to ask and see better, see more clear, or sometimes say no. Also, if something's weird. So yeah, sometimes it's weird because intuition is very subjective, but for me it worked like that. Yes.
Yeah, and about the shamans, like what's the traditional way to shamanism in Peru? It's inherited practice or it's trained practice?
It's a father and son thing in tribes. It's like inherited, but it's getting a little bit lost also now because of modern society. Sometimes an elder shaman, old, wants to give the knowledge to his family, and it seems like the family now goes to the city to study and whatever, and they are not so interested. So now there's a little bit of a gap of now who's gonna give it. So I think that's why also it's good and it's important to share the knowledge and beyond, race or culture. So that's why also there's a good, I mean, there are Europeans or people from all around the world that want to go and to learn, and some shamans, old elders, are interested also because they don't want the knowledge to be forgotten.
Yes. Mm.
Someone needs, and sometimes this family of indigenous people are not there available. So instead of breaking it, they will need to teach to someone who is interested. And so, yeah, but now more people can learn. That's good. You can go and learn, and you don't need to be, you know, the lineage. But of course, you will need to have a serious commitment and all of this. But yeah, traditionally, it's more about the own tribes. Yes.
And how open is Peruvian society to these type of practices? It's kind of, it runs in your blood, and everyone is like, oh, I don't know, I have this issue, I need to go to plant medicine or do this or that, or it's more like more conventional, and this is just small part of the people.
Yeah, it's very well accepted, actually. It's gaining more and more confidence. I mean, starting, it's legal. It's legal in all Peru. It's a, you know, plant medicine, a traditional. It's very protected from, you know, how you say that? Like our heritage, our ancestors.
Kind of national heritage, yeah, like cultural heritage.
So for example, in the Amazon, in the jungle, many people go to have like a medicine, you know, like just a doctor. So most of the times, if you have a disease or something, you will go to the shaman first, and then if he's not able to help, yeah, you go to the hospital. But that's more in the jungle. In the rest of Peru, there is also this big acceptance. Many people of the cities know they can go and have this, but many people are afraid also, you know, because it's wild and it's, you know, scary, many, I don't know, experiences and blah, blah, blah. But you have both. You have many people open and very interested, and yeah, a little bit more conservative, scared people that won't. So we have both.
Yeah, I mean, some people like to live in very clear and known box, you know, but this takes you way out of the box, and then it's like it's a lot of unknowns. You understand? There's more unknowns than knowns, and it's scary for some.
Yeah, but sometimes for medical things, for health issues, people are willing to take the risk of going to the unknown, and they will have very good results. So yeah, I mean, sometimes for people is the last resource, the last option, and they find out that it's the best, and they yeah, they have like a rebirth. They're born again with this.
Yeah, well, sometimes our higher self need to push us really far to wake up to really bad condition to start to, you know, open up.
Yes. I hope it doesn't have to be like that for people. Right.
No, and it's nice that more and more people, are not only ayahuasca or sun healing, but more and more people everywhere in the world are kind of opening up, and not only because they like stuck in pushed in the corner, but because it's kind of they feel that inner calling, and
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a call. It's like someone's calling up there. Yes, I'm gonna listen. Go.
Yeah, you go. It's yeah, and it's loud. Once it starts to call, you can't shut it off, so you have to follow.
Yes.
You also, so we almost running out of the time, but I just wanted to. Usually at the end of the lives, I ask every guest once again to briefly sum up. So, what are your offerings here? What kind of are you doing? Only just group events, or are you serving also private sessions? And I know you also collaborate with many people. Are you open for more collabs? Because now we will save this live on our timeline, and most of the people will watch it in, I don't know, today, next day, within the next few days. So we also have a good crowd of practitioners following us. So maybe someone has interest to do something with you.
Yes, for sure. Thank. Yes. Yes, of course. Well, I am doing different collaborations. I mean, this weekend I have like 3 different things. Breath work today, later. I have a private sound healing with a group tomorrow in Tukums. Then on Sunday I have in Riga a sound healing with cacao. All of this is in my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The public, everything I announce it in Instagram, in Facebook. And of course, I do also one-on-one private healing, sound healing. It's very much deeper, specific things. Also, I am open to new collaborations, yeah, to healers, musicians, meditation retreats, all of this. That's, you know, my thing. I always have been involved into all of these collaborations, and so yes, I'm very open to this. And also, my music is on Spotify. I didn't talk about it too much, but I also am a producer, a musician, so I have many albums. I have this sound healing part, but I also have these rock albums because I love rock. I think it's good to release in a deeper way energies, more explosive way. And yeah, you can find that in Spotify. You can find me here on Instagram. So whatever question you have, I'm here. If you also resonated with the plant medicine, you can write me and give you a little bit more details. Maybe in Latvia we can have something. So yeah, just stay in touch, and yeah, thank you so much, Signe, for this beautiful interview.
Well, you were our first international guest, so it's a big one for us too. Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure. And yeah, for everyone who joined us now, we will save the whole conversation on our timeline, and within a few days it also will be in our YouTube and website, so you can share with the other people if you know that they will resonate with it. And yeah, it was a pleasure. And since you're in Latvia for a longer time, then
Oh yes.
who knows?
Yeah, thanks. Just one more thing. Yeah,
sure.
that I'm staying till the end of December. So I have a couple of months, a little less. So for collaborations on anything, that's my time. So thank you so much.
That's great. Thank you, Ruy. And thank you everyone who watched. And yes, maybe it resonated with you or made you think about other ways how to access ourselves in higher planes. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye everyone. Bye.